I was here early. Oh,
You're here. Well, no, they were here early. Hello, everyone. We're starting right on time. Sheila's on her way. We're having a little time zone problem. Um, Someday she'll move to my time zone and then she'll always be on time. Anyway, hello and welcome to Seeing the Grid and the grid for 2026. And I'll let everybody introduce themselves and say hi. Danny.
oh, me first. So we've been a little silly in the
Mhm.
back. Um, so my name's Danny.
She's doing great.
And that's all you have to say. It's
That's all I
doing
have to say. Next.
Danny has a critter that lives with him named Psychic Duck.
Oh yeah, psychic duck.
And I had someone send me
Oh, hi, Psychic Doc.
Psychic Duck's girlfriend.
Ooh,
Oh.
baby. Oh my God.
Yeah, they really did. They said, you need to get this to Danny. It's his girlfriend for his duck.
No, I think you need to find an equidistant pond.
Equidistant.
Actually, it sits behind me, flying out of a portal, drawing someone down.
I'm seeing an equidistant pond somewhere between
I was going to say,
Arizona and New Mexico.
where is that pond? Okay.
Gee.
Okay. And for the person who has had a change of name and things, Mr. Jeffrey.
My name is Jeffrey. I used to be known as Ripecolor, but I have morphed into the shape of light. I don't know what that means. I don't know if by the end of the year I literally morph into a shape of light. But we will see.
I love that you don't know what that is going to shape into. That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, it's a big.
But that's this year.
That's this year.
Yeah.
And of course, we have Dr. Gail skywalking with Moon, and she's still working out what she's shaping up into.
Yeah. Well, I've got created another channel, so I have divided what I'm shaping up into. And my channel deals with extraterrestrials, aliens, and my other channel is dealing with healings.
Awesome.
And we're missing one of our compadres, but she's in her own time zone. What can I say? So we're here to fire up and initiate you into the grid. So I think we're going to go look at the grid since none of you have seen it. And
That's drum roll.
Yeah.
Run, da, 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 da. There it is.
Beautiful.
And let me explain to you quickly how this came about. In October, I got the message I needed to replace the former world grid, which we did 3 years ago. And it was suggested by Tim Walter, and this is the grid. And one of the reasons we needed to replace the grid is I've never had this happen on a grid, but the grid in the middle of this grid is a fluorite. It's a very solid stone. It started cracking apart right after the election in 2024. Just saying. So anyway, we're here to talk about what happened, and I contacted Jeffrey and Danny and Dr. Gail and Sheila, who is still climbing on a mountain somewhere. And I said, you have to give me a number between 1 and 42 because the deck I used to create these forms has 42 cards in it. They didn't know what they were pulling. Danny pulled the number 2, which is the sacral chakra, and that's what's responsible for the color that's behind everything. And the sacral chakra is above the root chakra. It's where our energy begins to spring out of our body. It's where the creative flow comes from, and it flows beyond stagnation. It's emotional intelligence and adaptability. It's the courage to feel, to choose, and create. When crystals get aligned in the sacral energy, they reawaken joy, vitality, forward momentum, helping individuals with collective to reconnect to life force itself. So that's that part. Then the next number that got chosen was Dr. Gail. She picked up number 8. And number 8 in this deck is alchemy. And as you can see, there's 3 dots here and there's 3 parts on alchemy. And alchemy is the frequency of alchemy activates our magical abilities to remember the magic that we've all had and hold inside. Each one of us has the potential to access ancient knowledge and be allowed, like the true alchemist, to come out and perform miracles. So I put her stones in the middle. And then the next card that got chosen was Sheila's. And it was coherence. And coherence allows many energies to function as one. And it stabilizes us emotionally and mentally. It helps our mind to reset and realign. It creates a steady and harmonized field for great global change. By weaving crystals into the coherent geometric patterns, the grid becomes more part of has a greater resonance. That noise, blah, 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 blah thing goes out. Where individuals and the collective intentions are synchronized rather than fragmented. And the last part of the grid was passion, which is this part for Jeffrey. And I'll go through the stones that are in passion. There's passion is the activating flame. It's not chaos, it's directed fire. And this frequency fuels purposeful action, truth spoken with courage, and devotion to what really matters. The grid's passion current keeps the work from becoming too passive, and it encourages conscious participation in shaping what's to come. Mm-hmm. So that's what all the grids are about. There are 96 stones in this grid. And normally, grids kind of look like the original world grid. But this year, we needed a beefed up world grid, kids. Normally, you start with the center stone and you work out and you fire up all the stones. And we're going to do that right now with you. When we activate this grid, we're doing more than setting intentions. We're initiating a living field that will continue to respond and adjust and support all who participate with it in 2026. Anchored through sacred geometry and crystal consciousness, this grid remains online as a stabilizing and transformational force. And what I'm going to do is post the picture of this so you can pull it down if you want to on my website on Crystal Directions up in useful information. And you don't need to understand any of the grid work to feel it. Your presence, your awareness, and your signed intentions are enough. And this year we create a grid to transform, cohere, and act with passion. And I'm going to say the fire up statement. I activate the sacred grid, even though Denny says my hand looks green. I guess it does. My green hand activates the sacral grid in harmony with pleasure, creativity, and coherence. What is born and joyful, it is sustainable, and it is always aligned for the greater good. And the energetic outcomes this will support are creative rebirth, emotional healing through expression, and abundance rooted in joy, not struggle, and passion that flows instead of burning out as it moves forward. So that's where we are.
Beautiful.
So I'm going to come back to, I'm going to list also on my website all the stones that are in it because there's 96 of them. And I'll tell you why it's what they're about. So what does anybody else have to talk about.
You're going to need a bigger website.
Well, no, my website works.
Okay, I'm just playing.
When Nancy, will you, for all the people who haven't even seen a grid that might be in the chat, can you explain that just a little bit, how it started? And
Oh, Grid started in 2017 when I was in Denver, Colorado. That's not where Grid started, but that's where they started for me. So that's my reality. And I was in Denver and I saw some grids and I became obsessed with figuring out how they worked. So I built, they're based on geometry. You can kind of tell there's like 8 citrines around. Oh, that's not going to help you. You can't see it. I say that like you can see what's going on. Now you really can't see what's going on. Okay. There are 8 stones. These are citrines that are here. At the center of this stone, at the center of where we started with the alchemy, that's actually a piece of petrified wood that's been carved into a medallion. And then I put on top of it some carnelian and then some aventurine. And those are all stones that help bring a lot of joy and grace into our lives. And then I put, these are fire quartz, and they're an incredibly powerful quartz that they actually look like they have red flames in them when you can see them close up. And they're really, really powerful stones. And then I put the 8 citrines around it because they bring in joy and abundance. Citrine, if you want to carry one stone for good luck, citrine's probably the best stone you can carry. And I have 8 of those. And then I put the pyrite around it because I really love pyrite. Pyrite really grounds people and helps you hold on to things. Please don't post anything about what's happening politically outside of here, because when my eyes see it, they go to it and it disturbs me. And it's freaking me out.
It's disturbing.
It is disturbing, and I should be disturbed. But these are pyrite, and they ground us. And then these are faceted quartz crystals, and they align us. They bring a quartz energy that brings friends into us, friends in an orderly manner. That's what's kind of in the center here. And if this grid was just on its own, you'd start in the center and you'd go out and you touch each of these stones. You can do it with your finger. You can do it with a crystal. You can do it with whatever you want. And I had heard to do that and to unify the stones. And that's what we're doing right now. I'm not doing a great job of it, but we're doing it. And
I'll stop you there again, Nancy. There's a person here in the chat, the shape of flight.
That's Jeffrey.
Is that? Did you put that, Jeffrey? Why don't you highlight that?
Yeah.
Okay. I ignite my sacred joy to guide me, to align and transform me, and through myself and the whole world. And that's really what we're about.
Thanks, Jeffrey.
You're welcome.
And so, yeah, it's Jeffrey and I talk a lot. We run a weekly show where he throws tarot, I throw in the garden.
So with this grid, because I have 2 of them, and I think it's fascinating with the activation of it. So, and for me, it drops me into this meditative state as to what the intention was.
Right.
And so if we look back at Jeffrey's, I wish I had it right here.
I can
pick it back up. But if we go back to that intention and we're just tapping each stone from the center to the out to the center to the out, and we're going around and I don't know, maybe you can explain this. I don't feel like it needs to be in a certain direction, but just tapping each stone with that intention drops you into this mantra, so to speak, that does activate. And with my grid, when I first activated it, you know, I get it and I go, oh, this is really pretty. It's cool looking. It's nice. It'll look good up there. And then when I activated it, I could feel that energy from my hand from about a foot to 2 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
It was, you could feel it. It was really powerful. So I think it's such a powerful tool to drop into with all that
And
crystalline energy.
it doesn't go away. Like the world grid, the old world grid is going to Yorkshire, England, because Tim suggested that I build it. So I'm mailing it off to him. And I don't know what he's going to do with it. He's a land healer. He's just fascinated to see one. But when I started building them, I found out that I could feel energy around each of them. And, you know, right now I'd do this. If I was sitting at home, I'd be firing it up. And then just circling around. And then you can feel, and I can feel the warmth on my hand. Now, you may not feel warmth, you may feel power, but what I always used to tell people to do is to write down 10 intentions that you'd like to see, that you'd like tied to the energy of the grid. And I had a woman once, and I helped her fire that grid up so many times. First, she thought she did it when Mercury was retrograde and it wouldn't work. Anyway, we went through this whole thing. Finally, the 5th time I said, did you have intentions tied to this? And she said, yes. And so I said, well, let's pull them out and see what's going on. And she pulled them out, and 5 of the intentions had already happened. And said, I guess it's working. Let's not bother. I mean, not everybody feels the warmth, I guess, but you can feel warmth. And it's once you set it up and once you have it going, it's just there. And you can go tap it every so often, or you can go look at it, you can talk to it. I have one lady who finally decided the best place, she hung it over her fireplace. It looks really pretty where she put it. But she said that way I looked at it every day. But it's like giving you a spare battery in your pack.
Yeah.
Cope with things.
Yeah. So this grid, what we're doing for this year is letting go of fear, bringing in light.
Right. Creative rebirth, emotional healing through expressing what's going on around us, not hiding out. Abundance rooted in joy.
Exactly.
Doing
So,
joyful things, not struggling things.
so it's all about doing the things you love to do. I love to cook, then cook. If you love to garden, then garden. If you love to walk, then walk. If you love to read, then read. If you love to talk to your friends on the phone, talk to your friends on the phone. Like what you love, like be like a little kid. I want to play telephone. Okay, and then play telephone. You know, I want to go out and run in the leaves. I want to go out and pick the flowers. Wonderful.
So if you're talking about a little kid, because a lot of people, and we are immersed in this news cycle, but how many kids watch the news? None.
None.
That's why they're so happy.
Yes. So it's like all this. I remember Nancy telling me something. She's saying, she said, when you're looking at this, at whatever is out there in your life that may be affecting you, take 2 weeks and then go back and look at it and see if it was really that important to you. If it really affected you in a big way, and sometimes it does. Most of the times it's not as big as what we make it to be.
Right. And
Well, I was going to say, Nancy, again, the new people that are here, they're probably wondering how can a grid help me?
okay. Well, you can go to my website at crystaldirections.com, and it's directions there's an S on the direction. And there's about 200 grids on a slideshow. And you can look at those grids and see if they pull you in, if you kind of feel drawn to them. every single grid I build is unique because all these are crystals. I mean, these are like crystals that came out of the ground. These are formed into something else, but for the most part, they're the natural crystals. They are what they are. And so I've had a woman say, oh, I thought I was going to get a pretty pink grid. And she pulled a card that didn't have pretty pink in it. That's how Danny got his grid. One of his first grid. She said, oh, give it to anybody. And so, okay, I'll find just anybody to give it to. I'll find this weird guy in California with long hair.
Well, let me help you out a little bit there, Nancy G.
I'm not answering the question. And
No, you're not. Well, how a grid can help you is you can do a reading with Nancy Jean if you're drawn to the grids. And these are personal. These are energetic, personal grids for you. So you book a reading with her. She does a reading with you and creates a grid that will be energized by you and can be transformative in your life on how you use it. And so it's a cooperative thing between the two of you deciding what grid will be beneficial for you in your life.
That's right. And I had one person and it was not Dr. Gail, but I had one person who was working a lot with aliens. And when we pulled her card as to what she needed to work with, she got Earth. And she and I both cracked up because we're like, man, that's the last card I would have ever thought this reader would need. But then it ended up, things happened in the next couple of years in her life that made her have to deal with more earthly things like family illnesses and things. And she said every time I'd go back and I'd look at that grid and I'd go, okay, now I'm understanding what it's like to be part of Earth. So, and I had a priest who wanted to open up a halfway house and a food shelter or something in the mountains between Las Vegas and LA. And he'd been trying to get it going for years anyway. So he said, I'll try this. I didn't know he was an Episcopal priest because all I saw was the collar. I didn't. But then I found out he was an Episcopal priest. But the card he pulled was Passion. And I'm like, okay, that's not the first card I'd pick for a priest, but that's what his passion was to serve this community. Mm-hmm. And as a matter of fact, on his grid, the day he blessed it and brought it into his life, it was Good Friday, and he had it underneath the altar. And then he said, can I invite someone in to help me? Because he had someone approach him, and they both got their thing going within 6 months to a year. But wow. Your grids work when you work. I'm going to tell you this too. I had someone I sent out when I had done just a whole bunch of grids. I did like 90 grids in 90 days at one point. And I wrote all the people and said, can you tell me how your grid's working out for you? Because I wanted some stories about that. And the one woman said, I've had this thing now for 4 months. It's sitting here in my living room, and it hasn't done a damn thing. But she said, I haven't fired it up either. So I'm just saying, I cannot create something that's going to help you. I can create this thing for those. There's a couple of people just showed up again, so I have to show the grid again. This, I'm not going to come back on my thing. This is here for all of us. And like people say, well, where are you going to display it? I don't know. I'm just going to try to keep the cats off it. And Danny won't sneak into the UN and hang it on the wall. So
I will too. I'll do it.
I'll send it to you in California if you promise me you'll do that.
I'll do that. Wouldn't that be fun? Now that would be a sacred joy. To sneak into the UN and put that.
And when Fox News writes about the weirdo that crawled through the window and hung a bunch of stones on their wall,
they won't even see me. They won't even.
If you work with it right, they won't.
Yeah, they're looking underneath the tables. I'm going to be way above. They're way down here. I'm way up here. So
Shifting.
The shape of light is Jeffrey's channel. Someone said, "What's the name of the guy in the hat?" And this is the sweatshirt that someone likes that they saw. I found the sweatshirt company and they had a true raven on the sweatshirt, and raven is my original spirit animal. So I bought it for my Christmas gift for me. People are saying that you would do that, Danny.
I would. Gail, what?
Dr. Gail, you have no sound.
I would be lifting him up to help him do it.
Yeah. You know, because I think about this world grid pretty much every morning when I send intelligence and compassion out to all the world leaders. And I ask them, I go, what the hell are you guys doing? Wake up. So it's all this compassion. So we can imagine this world grid going to everybody and hanging it in their office so that they're seeing sacred joy to guide and transform the world to a better place.
Libby's with us.
Libby!
Hi, Libby.
Hi.
We're glad you're here. And yeah, it is morning over there. She's on another, no, she's really in another time zone.
She's, yeah, future.
And our thoughts and feelings are with you too, Libby, because this works for individuals as well as for the collective to get the grid going. And if you have questions about grid, you can go look at my website. You can give me a call. You can watch my channel. Yeah, I know it's tomorrow morning, Libby. You are in a totally different time zone. But whatever I can do, I really want to teach people about stones. Stones. I did a lady wanted a garden reading, which is another thing altogether. And I was doing a garden reading with her, and she and I started talking about stones, and I ended up spending 2 hours with her talking about crystals and different ways to use crystals. And just anyway, the one thing I will remind people of is on this grid, I put this is a cubic pyrite. It's a perfectly formed cube, and it was not cut to do that. That's how it came out of the mountain. And we put that on this grid to protect all the people who are using their thoughts and their energies in this to help give you a boost and a little bit of protection, because it can get kind of wild and hairy out there. And I want people to feel safe and comfortable. So does anybody want to pull a card or do something else?
Well, I think Jeffrey needs to say who he is because I keep asking about him.
Yeah, Jeffrey, they're made.
Well, my name is Jeffrey, and I used to be known as Ripecolor. Now I'm known as the Shape of Light. I am a tarot reader and a healer. I've written a few books. I wrote one book about how to use tarot as a workbook for shadow work.
Really good, really good. Highly recommend it.
I also wrote a book on tarot where I go through every single card and I describe every card, the traditional meaning plus my meaning. I offer IET, which is like an offshoot of Reiki, which is very individualized for helping you to remove and shift and transform energy. And
I teach tarot with Jeffrey. When I teach tarot, teach it together. And Jeffrey knows more about the Rider-Waite deck than any human alive, really. And this is his book on shadow work, which you can order. Right, Jeffrey? On Amazon?
Yes. On Amazon or on my website.
Amazon,
you'll get it quicker. Amazon, you'll get it quicker.
Yeah. And the thing is that you can get it not in the paper version. I got the paper version because I've used it with clients, but
you could also get it digitally on my website. And
that's right. You can do it. So yeah.
So that's what I do. And I mean, look, when everything is going on around, I mean, that's why this message for this year is so important,
Mhm.
because it's based in orange, right? Orange is all about creativity. Orange is all about the hearth. Orange is all about the sun and its radiance. And it's like, keep doing things that make you happy and being in that moment and being in that joy of it. Nothing else exists. When a kid is in their finger painting or their coloring, they don't really care about lunch. So,
Hmm.
you know, and it's about not caring about lunch and not caring about homework and not caring about the kid next to you. It's really about being with yourself and your spirit, listening and creating something, even if that's creating a meal, creating, organizing the table before the meal. It's all that and being in the joy of that. And
Okay.
that's our way through, is
All
through
right.
joy, not through worry.
Yeah. Jeffrey, somebody's going, shadow work.
Okay, that's
People
nice.
don't know what shadow work is.
You know, I've said it, but I have to say, I'm not into like giving a whole, yeah.
Okay.
Shadow work is when you go and you look at the things, the shadows you carry around with you that kind of, I always think of them as sort of dark spots that drag us back. And you bring them out, you bring them into the light, and you learn what they are, and then you're not afraid of them anymore.
You know, the things that about you that are less than pleasant. Maybe the attitudes or the habits that you carry that you don't even know why you're carrying them, or where
Yeah.
they come from, or how you can transform them.
Mm-hmm.
It's about taking responsibility for your life and your energy and your feelings and your thoughts. And sometimes it can be very, very terrifying to go in there. So I thought I would give people sort of a guide. It's like it's like a pamphlet guide to walk through it. At least you can begin to ask yourself the questions.
And it may be questions you don't want to ask in a chat room, or you don't even know what questions to ask a reader. What do I call them and ask them?
Exactly.
You know? So, and Dr. Gail, even though it's orange, I mean, Dr. Gail, that's not Dr. Gail's favorite color. We had a discussion about that.
I love
You love orange.
I do.
Yeah.
It is.
But everybody, you know, and all different parts of your life we're all the rainbows in the world. It surrounds us. And that's what I love about dealing with the crystals, because they make such a difference in finding them. I was a tarot reader. I'd been reading tarot since I was 12. And I found crystals when I was in my 60s. And
So last year,
Danny, I went to a New Year's party, and a lady, we were talking about stuff, and I was explaining this medical test I'd gotten run. The woman go, "Well, that's a really expensive test. How'd you get it run?" And I said, "I have Medicare." And she goes, "How the hell did you get Medicare?" And I said, "I lived long enough."
please.
And I said, and she said, "How old are you?" And when I told her, she went to the hostess and she said, "Is that woman BSing me?" She thought I was 56. Now,
There you go.
what can I say? And the woman hadn't been drinking, so I don't
And
know.
we know you're 61 because you just said you were 6. Okay. never mind.
Right. That's right.
So anyway, Danny, you gonna pull a card?
Oh, I will. I can. The deck that is sitting right up on top is my Healing Waters deck.
That's a good one, because this whole grid is about healing.
Healing Waters. So, yeah, I find shadow work is people are as scary as it is. People are tapping into it more and more these days. I find out it's like, well, it's almost like it needs to be addressed, and they're finally addressing it. They're not shying away from it, which I love. I find fascinating. I think we're all doing it, so let's all do it together.
Might as well.
Yeah.
All right, so we got a little baby card. This is like, I guess, for Jeffrey saying, hey, you got to play, you got to be, but this took us way, way back, and it's just a little bitty baby, and it says, birthing mysteries. What are you being called to create?
Ooh.
What's the first statement about this grid? Creative rebirth.
Yeah. So the thing with this, though, is, and we touched on it, I think, is that a lot of Jeffrey did with the shape of life. He goes, I don't know what shape I'm going to end up as, but he said, I know I want to be light. I know I want to be a shape of light. So he just is off doing something that he did it before it even made sense, which is a lot of what this birth is all about. Just stepping in. What are we being called to create? We may not even understand it yet, but let's take the first step and go.
So now when people say, what are you, Jeffrey? I'll say, I am an abstract flower.
Oh,
Oh,
very,
I would have said you were a little baby.
an abstract baby flower.
An abstract baby flower.
Yeah. Well, Jeffrey's got some weird plants. He's in Mexico. He's got some strange plants.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, some of the plants that I have are like, are you really from this plant? You're so amazing.
Yes, right?
So amazing. Yeah.
I grew up in the Midwest with oak trees and grass. And when I move out to California, when I moved out to where I am now, I'm like, what is that bizarre plant? And it really feels like I'm like in a jungle, like down in Mexico, because the plants are so, I go, wow, how come I haven't seen those
Mhm.
crazy looking plants before?
Well, when my youngest was 3, we were going to Arkansas for a vacation. And we're driving through East Texas. And for those of you who've never been to Dallas, our normal trees top out at stoplight height. I mean, they're really short. And we were driving along, and Susan said, Mommy, these trees are broken. And I said, broken, honey? What do you mean the trees are broken? And finally, when we got out at the rest stop, she looked up and she looked way up this tall tree, and she goes, that tree's too tall. Trees can't grow that tall. Well, it was the height of the trees I'd grown up with in the Midwest. So,
Yeah.
So it's
So Dr. Gail,
Yes.
pull something, do something.
You want me to pull something?
I want you to give us a galactic message for
From
this
an orange planet.
grid.
26. Star keepers.
Ooh.
So star keepers, it says a cosmic ancestor, seed the light by staying grounded. Wow.
That's worse.
This is a personal card to me. To me, I'm always having trouble staying grounded.
What?
It's-
What?
Yeah, I like being up there. But I would say my big message is, I've been talking about it for a couple of weeks now, that the message I got for 2026 and 2027 is that last week of 2026, the first week of 2027, we'll be having a big cosmic event. And it will be appearing as a lot of stars in the sky, and they will not be able to deny that it's not some kind of phenomena that's extraterrestrial.
So in 26, 27.
Yeah, December, the end, last week of December,
Okay, so we got a whole year to wait.
a whole year.
Don't you have something sooner?
And the other thing they said was that we needed to start manifesting that event.
Okay.
So
So
yes,
that's what that seed of light is.
maybe
You have
so.
to start dropping that seed in.
Well, these things don't happen overnight. And they, the feelings, the attractions, the bringing in, the clearing out, the letting go, the finding things, it takes a while. And Okay, can I do one more commercial for me?
Sure.
Your show.
Yeah.
But I hate them. I get to the point where I know the commercial's coming and I forward pass. I'm still doing my 12-month readings, and I will be doing them through the month of January. Did you get yours, Danny?
I did. Awesome. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
I wasn't sure I could get it because it ended up sent it to the cloud. I've never taken something out of the cloud before. That was sort of fun.
Yeah.
Susan was down here saying, "I can't believe you never taken it." My youngest child is a computer security encryption specialist, so anything that I do, it's like I live in the world of typewriters and she lives in the world of computers.
Yeah.
But I'm still doing those. You can go find out about grids. If you have questions about grids, come along. I have a show usually Tuesday at 1. Right now I'm doing a series called Psychic Profiles. All the glorious people on this screen have been on that. And so I'm really hoping that this grid lives up to what my guides told you. Take that psychic duck away.
Psychic Duck has not done a psychic profile. Just saying.
Well, we can do one. I'll put it on Substack. I'll put anything on Substack. They love me over there.
I think it's foul phobia. That's what I think.
Foul phobia.
Foul phobia.
I'm not sure. I think we all act like we've had another bottle of champagne on the 3rd of January. Anyway, I'm sorry Sheila didn't make it. I don't know where the girl went, but Sheila from Celtic Tarot also participated in this and in the creation of this. And we all create, co-create, and continue to create with each other. And I'm so blessed to be part of this. You guys have no idea. I almost died this year, so I'm really blessed to be part of this community. I had a little conversation with my guides about that last night when they woke me up at 4 a.m. And I also have a Substack channel. So then I throw things over there because I want to broaden my horizon, but I can't do things in TikTok. I'm too long-winded and too old. So anybody want to close anything else out? Jeffrey, did you have a card you wanted to read? It will be a Rider-Waite card and everyone will recognize it. Perfect. The Fool.
The fascinating thing about the Fool, and in fact, I have a series which I've been working on for years, which I'm still not finished. The Fool is the first card in the deck, and actually Nancy and I did the Fool together, and the Fool is so magnificent because it's a standalone card. It's the soul unborn. It's the soul unborn before it decides to incarnate on this earth.
Mm-hmm.
So it comes in fresh and alive and new and open and curious and doesn't really quite fit and doesn't really know it doesn't quite fit. Very eccentric, very unusual, very, I'm going to do my own thing. And I think that's what we're being asked to do.
Yeah.
Do our own thing. Take a leap of faith. Your soul is with you.
That's right.
Dog is your soul with you. On for the journey. There are no mistakes.
Nope.
Take a leap of faith. Go for it. Go for it. Ta-da!
Well, I hope people will check out Dr. Gail's channel, Danny Shay's channel, Jeffrey's Shape of Life. Go to Shape of Light because he needs people because nobody knows he's there because he changed.
I don't know what happened.
Mine is Nancy Jean's Garden, and I did. Dr. Gail and I decided to chat GPT and see what it said about us.
Well, that's an interesting thing to do.
It really is. And it said that I was the grandmotherly figure over the teaching people how to plant the seeds of their soul and spirit experiences in the garden. So Granny's waiting for you.
That was a
Granny's 12-month reading, just for a little plug. Those are awesome for anybody who hasn't had one. They are so good. And I look at them and I go back, before the
Yeah.
month starts or after the month ends, and I go, right again. So
Well,
really good.
really, and they take about an hour, and you get the recorded message, and it's it's lots
They're
of,
good.
and I really want to close out with y'all
Gail
are.
was going to say something. I cut Gail off.
What were
She
you gonna
was
say,
going to
Dr.
say
Gail?
something.
Remember. Oh, no. I was just said that when I had ChatGPT, when it asked me, it says, do you want to know what kind of healer you are? And I went, oh my gosh, okay, let me see. And I went, yes. And the next thing I knew, it was describing everything I did that I didn't even know I did. So it freaked me out totally. And I couldn't even sleep that night because that knew me better than I knew myself.
Well, the first time I ever ran my name on ChatGPT, I asked about something I was doing with Dorothy Morgan, who's an astrologer. And it said, oh, the last 3 times Dorothy was on your show, and it put the dates. Guys, I don't know when I'm on shows with people.
Damn.
I know.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Well, I know what I'm not doing this afternoon.
You're not going to look up. Jeffrey disappeared off a fire escape in New York, and we're not sure what. Anyway, say goodbye, guys, because I'm going to put the grid up for the closing.
Blessings.
All right.
Happy New
Bye,
Year.
everybody.
Healthy New
Thank
Year.
you.
Bring in the energy.
Thank you for all your energy helps make this more a
Yeah.
much greater experience. And there it is, the world grid for 2026. Goodbye.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.